Are you having problems drawing perspective? Are you kind of not sure how to go about it? It's too confusing for you? Well, I have some good news for you. Today, I'm going to explain you the 1-point perspective. And I'm going to do a series of 3 videos. It will be 1-point, 2-point, and 3-point perspective. And we're going to do just one at a time. So hopefully this is going to help you to, to get on your way to better sketching and be happy with your drawing session. That's what it's all about. So follow this next video. I'll try to explain the best I can, and from the most basic to a little more complex examples. So this is Senior Art Strokes with Angel Mercado, me, and watch some other videos that you might find interesting and might help in your journey. Always dedicated to you, the beginner, or you, the senior who is just starting to draw again. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Subscribe, like, of course, and enjoy the video. And let's practice. Don't forget that. Very, very important. When it comes to perspective, really, it's nothing to be so confused about once you learn the very basics of how this works. The first thing I'm doing, I'm creating this is my field of view, my image, my paper, whatever. The first thing we need to find out in perspective is the horizon line, where the horizon line is located at, okay? And just to make it easy, I'm going to draw a couple of eyes. These eyes are looking inside the square here, and this side I'm going to be drawing a camera just in case if you are taking this image from a camera. So perspective line is going to be right at your eye line or your the eye of the camera. That's where the perspective line is going to be. So that's how we find the perspective line. So once you know where the eye level is at, you could be sitting down. Maybe you're standing up, then the perspective, the horizon line will be higher, right? If you're standing up, it will be up there. But wherever you are, it's going to be right at your eye level. Wherever you're taking the picture from, it's going to be right at eye level. That is the horizon line. Horizon line. Okay, the other part we need to know, because this we're talking about here about 1-point perspective, is going to be the vanishing point. The vanishing point could be anywhere along this line. Sometimes it's way off the paper, okay, the vanishing point. But to make it easy on us, we're going to make a vanishing point right there. Here's where everything that comes into our subject are going to come. So these are guidelines. We're going to sketch guidelines, and these are according to what we're sketching, how they're going to be. And as you can see, these guidelines are always going to be, they're going to look like a fan, you see? It's almost like, think about the sun rays that's coming, from the single source of the sun. So they could be anywhere in here. Could be something above, could be something right on the horizon line, could be something below. So that is the thing, these are the things we need to find out. The first thing is the horizon line, and now we know that the horizon line is nothing but eye level from where we're taking the picture or from where we're looking at it. And then we have the vanishing point. We're going to VP vanishing point, and then you have these guidelines. All right, so that's all. That's all that is involved in the horizon. When it comes to perspective. So now I'm going to show you some examples on my iPad, and we're going to go from simple to a little more complicated, place of how we can go about finding where the horizon line is. Okay, so here's the first, my first photograph. The first one is, I'm originally from Chile, South America. And this is a train station in my town. This is a beautiful old train station. And right here is a very simple scene and kind of like easy to follow, where we can see how the lines they converge, see how they go straight into the vanishing point, all of these lines. And now our job is how to find the, let me move it, there we go. How to find the horizon line? Well, in this case, it's fairly easy because we can see lines and they're coming right here. The bottom is right there. This line, even the railroad lines are going straight into this. You see, everything is going straight into the vanishing point. So we see this line right in here. Can you see that? And it goes all the way to there. So this one still is going up a little bit, which takes us straight into the head of this figure. Pretty much right there is where the horizon line is going to be. So my eye level is pretty much level with the head of this figure at the distance. So there is where's our horizon line, and that's where we make the line. Now let's go on with the next one. Okay, so here we have another one. On this we can see then the bottom line comes right in here, okay, way down. Then we have the roof line, it's right in here. There we go, right there. And then remember, we're trying to figure out where the horizon line is at. We have the window, there's a line there for windows, a line there for doors. And as we come down, we're going to notice that our horizon line is going to be just about there. You see this line there? This line is almost like almost horizontal. Yes, of course, these are all houses, so they're all never going to have straight lines, but it's very close to the horizon line. If we lower a little bit, it's going to be just about there. Here we have another reference point. This one is still going up, so it's not going to be there. And this is the one that's coming very close to us, just like we did the figure. So there's my horizon line, which means my eye level is going to be right at this point. Right, this point is where's my eye level, making the horizon line. Okay, so here we have another figure or another photo, and we're trying to find out our horizon line. We have the top of the roof. You see how it comes down to here, top of the roof. Then we have the bottom of the roof, comes out there. Now we're going to have the windows, the upper part of the windows. When we look at them, they're getting very close, but it's still kind of going upwards, if you notice that. And we're going to bring them down until we find the horizon. And this one here, we see then this line right in here. You see this line right here. It's pretty much flat, and it goes with the horizon line. There's where it's at. Let's go to the next image. Okay, here's another photo. We can see how this one, the bottom of the building, goes straight into our vanishing point. So does the bottom of the edge of the floor there goes straight into our vanishing point. Now we can see here, you see these lines. So this one's telling us that this line is still going below our eye level because it's pointing downwards. You see that? So it's going to go downwards. This line here and here is still going downwards. You see? It's still going down below our eye level. When it comes to this one here, this one we find that it goes a little bit now, start going the opposite direction, uphill, which means our horizon line should be between this line and this line, which it will be right about there. Okay, so there is where our horizon line will be, or our eye level. Okay, let's go to another one. Okay, here's another example. This is an old house. This comes from the colonial era. These are adobe buildings. A lot of these buildings disappeared after 2010 when Chile had one of the strongest earthquakes registered. And I can't remember for sure if it was a 9.4 or 9.6. And unfortunately, most of these beautiful structures, all made out of clay, tiles, roofs, and adobe, they could not stand that earthquake, and they just came down. So I really doubt if this still exists now. But let's go on and try to find our horizon line. We see here we have this line. We can line it up there, and we see that it goes way below us. So at this line, same thing. You see it goes downwards, and the lines of the windows also here, they go downwards. All right, now let's check the windows themselves. We can see that here we still have sort of like still a downward trend, and on this one and here it's getting very close from being flat to the straight to the horizon line, but there is still, if I put my ruler right in here above these two windows, we can see them they're still kind of going downward. You see, it goes up like this and down this direction. So on this one, it's pretty much the top of the window. Right there is where you have your horizon line. And now on the roof, because you see the roof start going in an angle. You see that? So right here, the top of the windows is where we find our horizon line. That is the eye level. Here's my eyes were right and level with this top of the windows. And now we're going to go on to another one. Okay, here we have another image. And on this, it's a little bit easier to find because we can take advantage of all of the lines that we have in the photograph. And here we have the bricks. So this is going to make it a little bit easier to find it. Okay, let's start from this point here. We can see that they go on a downward right direction, so that means they're below our eye line. When we go and look at this here, we see that these are going on an upward direction, which means they are higher than our eye level. And then we start looking at the brick lines. You see, we have brick lines that can help us, guide us. And now what we have to do is just try to find the right line, which is right in there. Right here is where we see the closest to being very horizontal lines. Is right here, this line with the bricks. So that is another example, and we're going to look at one more. Okay, here's another photograph. This is taken from this little town we used to live here in by the Gulf of Mexico in Florida called Dunedin, and beautiful town, nice architecture too. And see if we can find the horizon line. Well, we had the bottom of the buildings right in here. As you can see, they go in an angle, and then we're going to continue this line here. The bottom of this line is starting to look like pretty darn close to it, to being the horizon line or the eye level, and it was right there. You see, that is where all the lines, they look the straightest. You look at the window, here's a line that's going to help you see. And this line, let's see, I had to look at it because I'm looking sideways here, so my head will be out of the way. And we find it right in there. So there will be our eye level or horizon line. So that is how we go about finding the horizon line on a one-point perspective. One-point perspective, why? Because all of these lines, they fan from the, I said, the vanishing point in this instance way out of the picture here. Okay, it's way out. But if we move this ruler, you see, start following all of these lines. Okay, here's one of my sketches I've done in in town. As you can see, it doesn't have to be exact, precise, but when we go and try to see if we find, if we are on a it is a one-point perspective because all of these lines, as you can see, they go in one direction to one vanishing point. But here, when we put the ruler right about there, we're going to see that we have the horizon line, which happen to be right at the heads of these two figures here. You see, so these two figures were about eye level with my eyes. So that's where the horizon line is at. Here's another example where we have one-point perspective because all of the lines are going to one vanishing point, right? And finding the horizon line, we're going to see that's going to be somewhere along here. These lines start going upwards, so, and they start going a little bit downwards, so it's going to be right about there. And when you look at it, it's going to be right about the heads of these figures. So that is my horizon line. And as you can see, it doesn't have to be very well established. You know, these are sketches. We're not machines. We're humans. So you don't have to worry about being very, very accurate. Be very close as you can be, and you will be fine. Perfection comes with practice. Remember that. And there are times, no, these are outdoor sketches. These are not finished sketches. So I just do my best to try to figure out, the closest I can get to the real thing. Okay, here I have another example of a one-point perspective because all of these lines are going all, to one vanishing point. And again, whereas the horizon line is going to be very close to this, you see this window here? They're going to start kind of like slanting a little bit downwards. So we're going to bring this down, and we find out that about right here is where we're going to find the horizon line. So our horizon line is just about the height of these figures also. That means I was pretty much eye level with them, about the same distance. Okay, here's another example of an outdoor drawing. This is when I used to live in Indiana, and also trying to find the horizon line. You see, when it comes to the street, we still see there's a line going downwards, and all of these lines, they go to the same vanishing point, which means it's a one-point perspective. Okay, and here, where is the horizon line? When I look at it through the porch line, I'm going to find that pretty much right there is where my horizon line was. Can you see that? Right about there. Okay, so this is it for the one-point perspective video. I hope it was useful to you. I hope you learned from it. Practice it. Like I said before, just go and get different sketches and go get different photographs or whatever material you find, and just get a ruler and just start going, up and down. See if you can decipher a one-point perspective first, and see where you can find the horizon line and where the vanishing point must be. Because on this one, the vanishing point goes out of the paper, you see, it goes way out here. Have a great day and exercise. That's how you'll get it. Nothing complicated. Goodbye.